So when you're choosing a bike lock, there's three really important things to be thinking about. One of the first is the Salt Secure rating. Now, every bike lock on the market typically gets a rating from ranging from bronze to silver and gold is the highest standard. Bicycle insurance companies tend to ask for sort of gold standard locks. What that means is it would take a thief longer to break through the bike lock. One of the other big things to look at is the size of the lock. So this is a little bit smaller, so you're going to be able to fit it through a smaller range of objects, which is going to limit your locking options in London. The Kryptonite, which tends to be my go-to choice for the past 8 years and has always kept my bike safe, is a little bit wider, and that tends to work for a pretty decent range of objects. And the final factor is to think about the weight. Unfortunately, a heavier bike lock is also going to be a more secure one. Now with locks, it's one of those areas where you don't really want to economize. There's a general rule that says you should spend sort of something like 10% of the value of your bike on the lock. But really, the more you spend, the more chances of keeping your bike safe. So it's definitely not an area to skimp on. Now, the proper locking technique, and what I tend to like to do, is to use two different types of locks. So I've got a D-lock here, also called a U-lock, and a chain lock as well. Now the reason you use a bit of a combination of locks, whilst it's a bit of a pain to carry the extra weight, it means that a thief is unlikely to carry the same tools that would be needed to break both of these types of locks. So it makes it a bit less likely that they'll target your bike. Now, the proper locking technique is to make sure you go through the frame and the front wheel. A lot of bikes have a quick release, so you see a lot of stolen front wheels, unfortunately, in London, which is an easy target for thieves. And then through the back, you typically use the D-lock, which would go through the frame, through the wheel, into the object that you're looking to. So make sure you take a look at our posts where we're going to round up some of the best locks that we highly recommend. And I hope you'll leave us a comment with what lock you've been using and if it's been keeping your bike safe.